So many network marketers fall in love with a health and wellness product, and then they realize that there's an incredible opportunity to build the lifestyle and income of their dreams. But what happens when you get started and you run out of friends and family to talk to, and what you're doing on social media just isn't quite getting you where you want to be? Well, the truth is, it's probably not your fault. It just takes a little marketing know-how that you may not be getting from anywhere else. So on this podcast, I'm sharing with you the secrets that I've been able to learn from all of my top earner friends and mentors. I'm pulling back the curtain on exactly what it takes to get people excited about the wellness products that you have to offer, to help people improve their lives, and to get you to the rank that you want to be at. My name is Soraya Goddard, and this is Secrets to Marketing Your Wellness MLM. Hey guys, what's going on? It is Wednesday evening as I am recording this, and I have spent the weekend, I've been lucky enough to spend the weekend with Ray and Jessica Higdon and the overall Higdon group at their Prospecting and Duplication Summit in Orlando, Florida. And I know you guys have heard me talk about them before. I just think the world of them, and I will probably never stop sharing all the amazing things that I have learned. And this episode of the podcast is no different. So it was a 3-day event, and obviously, as you can tell by the name, it was focused on reaching out and finding new teammates and new customers, as well as getting those new, partners, customers, etc., to understand the concept of duplication if they want to build a business. And I'm going to do a podcast right after this on duplication. But the first thing I want to share, there's so much. Oh my God, I want to share so much. I took pages and pages of notes, as I always do at these things. And like Ray has taught me as well, your notes from events and from training and things like that are great content to then share. So that's kind of a, meta marketing tip right now that I'm exercising, but you can also steal. In fact, I think what he loves to say is your notes are uncashed checks. Basically, if you teach your notes when you come back from an event, it's a great way to establish credibility and share information and become someone of value, which I know I talk about lots on this podcast. So anyways, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to share with you something that is an incredible story. I will tell you that the weekend was full of amazing things, but this event, this point in the weekend was just unbelievable. And this, what I'm going to talk to you about, happened on Saturday evening. Ray had a panel of people on his stage, and if you were there or you saw it live stream, you know what I'm talking about. An incredible group of people, some of my dearest friends on that panel, the Rising Star panel. And these are all people who are making their way, or making their mark, I should say, on the network marketing industry in a big way. And they are all rising stars. I think they're all current stars, but it was an amazing panel. So Ray and his lovely wife, Jessica, they're both super studs in the network marketing world. They interviewed all these rising stars. And one of the panel members, I'm going to leave her name out because I just think it's the right thing to do. She shared her personal story, and her story, first of all, had me in tears. I mean, just unbelievable story. And I'm going to share just a very abbreviated version of that with you today because I think there's some important lessons in her story. So she, on stage, first opened up with, "I don't want you to feel sorry for me as I tell you my story." And of course, that's an attention grabber, right? She said that she wants you to understand that she is grateful for her journey. Or, she wanted all of us in the audience listening to her tell her story to understand that she's grateful for it. And I'm like, first of all, if you start talking to us with that opening, I mean, that's just, something insane is coming, right? So she goes on to tell us a story that, no joke, I bawled my eyes out at. So this lovely woman proceeds to tell us that she had a very rough childhood and teenage years, set of teenage years and early adulthood. The short version is that she was living at home with her parents when she was 14, obviously enrolled in school, and decided one night that she was going to sneak out of the house like so many of us did when we were young. And I don't think my mom listens to this podcast, so hopefully I'm safe saying that. But she decided to sneak out to go meet up with some friends, and unfortunately, that night took a terrible turn, and she was raped that evening. Now, that's important to understand and important to the story because she said that her life was intensely impacted by that evening. She said that she went to the hospital, and not only the care workers, but people in her community blamed her for this happening to her, which of course is just terrible. I can't even imagine what that felt like. And that ultimately it tore her up. The events of that night, as well as the fact that people weren't supporting her in the way that she thought that she should have been supported and that she should have been supported in. And ultimately, because of this terrible experience, she turned to alcohol and drugs and kind of spiraled into a life that unfortunately got kind of away from her. And she said that she had trouble in school, and she ended up making some choices that ultimately led her in and out of jail. And eventually, and I'm kind of compressing time here, eventually she ended up pregnant and with another gentleman that was also in and out of jail. I hope I have all these details right. But the point is that things went really, really bad. She found herself ultimately unable to work because she couldn't get hired anywhere and living in a trailer that had no heat and no electricity. So if you can imagine, I know most of you listening to this podcast probably have not had, we've all had rough times, but probably not so rough that we found ourselves, in essence, living in a box with no heat, no electricity, and a young child or two. That is a pretty challenging situation. So this girl is in, a desperate situation. She's trying to get a job all sorts of different places. And she ultimately goes to the dollar store to go try to get a job. And she said it was a terrible low point in her life where she couldn't even get a job at the dollar store because she had a criminal record. She had no idea what she was going to do. She couldn't, take care of her kids adequately. And lo and behold, in all of this, and why I'm telling you the story is because she shared with us that during this lowest point, when she did not have any money, she was invited to an online party, a network marketing party. And some of you are in either health and wellness or beauty companies or something like that, where it is part of your culture, or you have in the past thrown online Facebook parties. So this lovely girl who is struggling and at the depths of despair and frustration and a terrible point in her life was invited to a Facebook party, and she said she had nothing else to do, and she was desperate, and so she went and she watched as these posts went through on this Facebook party. And it got to the end and they said, hey, if you want to become a consultant or, part of this opportunity, then you can buy a kit and you can make money from home. And she said that she reached out to the girl who threw this party and basically asked her, like, can I do this? Yes, was the response. Obviously, all you've got to do is buy the kit. Well, this girl didn't have the money. And so what she did is she started looking in her trailer for things that she could sell. And she said she got on Facebook and sold all sorts of stuff that she had, just stuff laying around as we all have in our homes. And she came up with the money. I think she said it was like $117 to get this kit. So she got the kit, enrolled as a business member and, a distributor, whatever her company calls it. And now, fast forward a couple years later, she has a Facebook group of over 1,000 people who are interested in her products, and she's making $4,000 a month. Life-changing, absolutely life-changing. She is now able to provide for her children. She is now clean. She is living an amazing, healthy lifestyle. She's moved into a lovely home. Everything is on the up for this amazing mother who has made it happen. And I share that story with you because I think it's a powerful story for a couple reasons. If you're listening to this and you have a home business, there's three things that I want you to take from this. Number one, don't ever assume that someone cannot afford what you have. I'm going to say that again. Don't ever assume that someone cannot afford what you have. Could you imagine for a moment that the girl who invited her to the Facebook party assumed that because she didn't have money, she wouldn't want to, be involved. She wouldn't want to hear what she had to say. She wouldn't want to be a part of that network marketing company. Thankfully, the person who invited her didn't think that and invited her anyway. I don't know what their relationship was. No idea. It doesn't really matter. The point is that that girl didn't make an assumption about her income and she invited her anyway. And I think that is so powerful. The second thing is that this is a great example of what we've talked about previously on the podcast, that if people see the value in what you have to offer, if people see the benefit of what you have to offer, whether that be a product or an opportunity, they will find a way to make it happen. They will sell stuff. They will borrow money. They will charge it. They will find a way if they are motivated, just like you find a way to do things that you're motivated to do. It is unbelievable that people waste their time trying to convince people to purchase something. Look, if you're motivated, you're going to find a way, right? Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't handle objections. Of course, you should handle objections if they are presented to you. But if people see the value, they're going to find a way. You don't have to talk them into it. So it's our job as marketers to show the value and the benefits and the impacts and how people's lives can be after they have our product or our opportunity. And in this case, she saw that this was a way to create income from her home, from her cell phone, even though she didn't have electricity. I mean, what an incredible story, right? Unbelievable. She was so motivated. She found the money. She sold stuff. I mean, how many of you have stuff laying around your house? How many people that have told you that they don't have the money to buy your thing have stuff laying around their house? Because guess what? If they were motivated enough, they could probably sell their stuff. I know they could sell their stuff. So, anyways, you get the point. If people see the value, they will find a way. You do not need to convince them of anything. The most important point, though, that I got from hearing this amazing lady's story is that you owe it to people like her to reach out and share your product and share your opportunity. I believe that it's an obligation. It is your obligation. If you have a tool that can help, you have the vehicle that can change someone's life, you owe it to them to at least offer it. Now, it's up to them if they want to take it. That is not your job to convince someone or to make sure that they do it, or to, because you think that it's good for them, they should be doing it. That is not up to you. But it is up to you to at least offer it to them. Whether they take it or not is up to them. My friend Hillary Grossman, who was also on the panel, shout out to Hillary. She's so wise and so amazing and has an incredible business. She said something to that effect when she was interviewed on the panel, and she said, look, it is my job to expose as many people to my product and my opportunity, and it's up to them to make a decision on whether or not they want it. So again, you just expose people to what you have and let them decide. And I think that this story of this amazing girl who has turned her life around, she is now able to provide for her kids. It's such a reminder that who are we to judge other people for what they can and can't do? So when you're reaching out, when you're contacting people, when you're talking with people, when you're inviting people to things, when you are prospecting your booty off, keep in mind that you never know the motivation of who you are reaching out to. Let them tell you whether they're motivated. Don't make assumptions. Don't assume that they don't have enough money. Don't assume that they, have to be doing this. Let them make those types of decisions. I think that's extremely powerful. So I hope that story helped. I hope you'll remember that next time you are chicken to reach out to someone, or you make an assumption about whether or not it's good for them. Remember this story, reach out anyway, and let them make the decision. All right, guys, if you are looking to work with me closer, I know many of you lately have reached out to me about that. Hit me up, sorayagoddard.com/podcast, and reach out to me there and let me know that you are looking to either partner or work with me in some other way. All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate your time. Talk to you soon. Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed Secrets to Marketing Your Wellness MLM. Before you go though, I have something for you. If you are looking to grow your audience online via social media so that you can have people getting excited about your products and reaching out to you to learn more, then you need my cheat sheet that has 50 health and wellness Facebook Live topics that will attract an audience to you. It also walks you through the secret 4-part formula that you can follow on both Facebook and Instagram that is proven to have people reaching out to you. And when you get it, I am also sending you guys an audio file for those of you who love to listen to the information on the go. You can get both of those things at www.sorayagoddard.com/podcast. Again, that's sorayagoddard.com/podcast. SORAYAGODDARD.com/podcast. Thanks so much. Chat soon.